All right, so there's a reason that I'm wearing my Spidey shirt. Besides the fact that I love Spider-Man, he's my favorite superhero. There's another reason. Actually, here, let me kind of show you. Behind me, here, where's it at? Oop, did I pass it? There it is. Right behind me there. See Regal right back there. See, I'm actually getting ready to walk up to watch a movie, which we've all been there, right? We've watched like some phenomenal movies before, so you could probably guess what I'm gonna watch. And actually, what's funny about that is that this is the second time I'm watching it. Avengers Endgame. Yeah, you guessed it. And no spoilers. I'm not gonna give any spoilers away. But I'm here. I was already here Friday night, watched the movie, and now I'm here again this morning. 11 o'clock is my showing, and I'm gonna watch it. And the thing is that we've all seen just phenomenal movies before, amazing movies, and it is, let me just tell you, Avengers Endgame is an amazing movie. But we've all seen that. We've all been there, and it got me thinking about just other phenomenal things that we've seen, just downright crazy things that we've seen before, amazing things. Like I think back about 20 years ago when I had the opportunity to see Michael Jordan play one of his last games as a Chicago Bull. And I'm not talking about watching it on TV. I'm talking about being there and actually seeing Michael Jordan play one of his last games. And there were, when you think about hundreds of people that saw Tiger Woods win the Masters once again after quite some time, saw him win the Masters, and again, we've all been to some of these things. I'm sure there are things throughout your life that you could think of and you say, oh yeah, you know what, that was amazing what I saw, or that was incredible what I saw, or that was just wonderful, that was breathtaking, that was just downright crazy. Hundreds witnessed just the Notre Dame Cathedral burning. Hundreds saw that. And there are things that we've seen, you've seen, that I've seen, that nobody can come up to me and say, nah, you really didn't see Michael Jordan play. They can't say that because I was there. I know what I saw. I saw what I saw. And and I wouldn't tell the people or somebody that saw Tiger Woods get his fifth green jacket, I wouldn't tell them, nah, you didn't see him win the Masters again, because they know what they saw. They saw what they saw. They were there. They were there, just like I was there to witness Michael Jordan play one of his last games as a Chicago Bull. They were there and they saw Tiger Woods win another Masters. I can't tell somebody, and you can't tell somebody that was there at the Notre Dame Cathedral, that they were outside of the cathedral, maybe a mile away, a couple miles away, seeing it burn. There's no way that you can tell them, there's no way that I could tell them that they didn't really see that. They know what they saw. They saw what they saw. Just like you've seen some of the amazing things that you've seen and some of the wonderful things that you've seen, and I've seen some amazing, wonderful things, breathtaking things in our lives. Just like we have seen and witnessed some of those things, they saw what they saw, and we couldn't tell them any different. And the same is true for the hundreds of people that saw Jesus Christ alive after he was crucified on a cross, after he was put to death on a cross, and he died on that cross, and a couple days later hundreds of people saw him alive. How do you tell them, oh, you didn't see what you saw, you really didn't see that? Because that would be, again, like me saying you didn't see what you saw when there was something amazing, wonderful, breathtaking that you saw. How do we tell hundreds of people, or how do we discredit, or how do we just throw out the testimony of hundreds of people that know that they saw the risen Jesus Christ? You can't just throw that testimony away. You can't just discredit that witness. And so one of the reasons, that was even made possible. It's just like, again, it's like if you witness something wonderful and breathtaking, if you witness something breathtaking and you were to tell me about it, you want me to believe what you saw. And there's no reason why I wouldn't believe what you saw. I'd be like, oh, wow, that's what you saw, or that's what happened, or that's what took place. Wow, that must have been awesome. That must have been breathtaking. The whole point of it is for me to believe what you saw. And it's the same thing. The hundreds of people that witnessed Jesus Christ alive after being dead for a couple days, the hundreds of people that witnessed that, the purpose, the reason is for you and I to believe. That's why, but it's not just to believe that it happened, but it's also to believe that so that it can make a difference in our life, so that we could be saved, so that we would believe that not just that it happened, but also that we would believe that Jesus Christ, that he knew that humanity needed and needs saving, that Jesus Christ, that's the reason that he did what he did. That's the reason that he sacrificed his life, was because he knew that humanity needs and needed saving. In fact, there's a guy by the name of Paul. He writes a letter to this this church at Rome, group of people at Rome, and so that's why we know the letter as Romans. And I want you to notice what he writes here, because he's writing this letter, and this is what he pens down. Romans 3:25 through 26. He says, "For God presented Jesus as the sacrifice for sin. People are made right with God when they believe that Jesus sacrificed his life, shedding his blood." In other words, Paul is writing here, and he's saying, people have the opportunity to be made right with God, that they have that opportunity all because of Jesus Christ's sacrifice. So he goes on. He says, "This sacrifice shows that God was being fair when he held back and did not punish those who sinned in times past, for he was looking ahead and including them in what he would do in this present time." In other words, people that died in their sin before Jesus, that God wasn't just going to judge them and send them to hell, but that God was going to wait till Jesus Christ came and he died for all of humanity. So he goes on, he says, verse 26, "For he was looking ahead and including them in what he would do in this present time. God did this to demonstrate his righteousness, for he himself is fair and just." He's fair, he's just. God's not desiring to hold our sins and to hold our mistakes and our failures and everything we've done wrong against us. That's why he provided Jesus. And so this is what he's saying, he demonstrated his righteousness, for he himself is fair and just, and he declares sinners to be right in his sight when they believe in Jesus. When they believe in Jesus, he declares us to be right in his sight. We are made right. That's what it means to be righteous, is that we are made right with God. Everything is right. Everything is back in order. Everything is okay. But in order for that to happen, we have to believe. And there were 500 people that saw Jesus at one time alive from the dead. What are we going to do? Just throw away their testimony? The purpose was so that they would share with us, so that the purpose that it was documented was so that it would be shared with us, so that we would believe that Jesus came to save us. All you have to do is believe the testimony of the people who were actually there, just like you would want me to believe your testimony of something breathtaking and awesome and incredible that you saw. And I want you to notice Jesus shared these words, and John, his disciple, records them, John 3:11, and Jesus saying this, "I assure you, we tell you what we know and have seen, and yet you won't believe our testimony." If you don't believe, you got to ask yourself, why? Why don't I believe? So if you'd like to continue the conversation, I definitely encourage you to just comment below. Until next time, God bless you. Have an awesome week. We'll see you next time.